In a world where wealth quietly hides in the most unexpected places, there is one tiny object that has been silently turning ordinary Americans into extraordinary success stories. And today, we're diving into one of the most legendary discoveries in modern coin collecting. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a rare error coin with a staggering current market value of $975,000. That's right. Something you may have tossed into a drawer, dropped between your car seats, or ignored in a jar on top of your fridge could be worth nearly $1 million. Stay with me because what you're about to learn may completely shift the way you look at every coin that passes through your hands from this day forward. Act 1 begins with a question, one designed to jolt your attention. When was the last time you checked your pocket change? Really checked it? Not just shaking it around, but inspecting it as if it held the key to a new life. Funny enough, most people treat their pennies like annoying little flies buzzing at the bottom of their purse or wallet. But what if one of those overlooked copper pieces isn't just a penny, but a passport to a wealthier life? If that doesn't make you want to empty your pockets right now, well, maybe you're braver than most. Or maybe you keep your wealth-building pennies in a secret vault. If so, please teach us your ways. Before we jump into the heart of the story, let's address the burning question almost everyone asks when they first hear about coins selling for life-changing money. How is this even possible? To answer that, we take a brief step back to the operations of United States Mint in the late 1960s. It was a time of high production, constant changes, evolving metal compositions, and, crucially, occasional errors that slipped through the cracks. Errors that today are so rare, so uniquely important, that collectors pay fortunes for them. And the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny stands at the top of that mountain. Act 2 pulls us deeper into the narrative of discovery and excitement. Imagine an ordinary person, someone with a regular job, maybe a family, maybe bills piling up, maybe dreaming of that one break in life. They're sorting through old coins, just like thousands of Americans do every year. Maybe they inherited them. Maybe they found them in a dusty box while cleaning out a garage. And suddenly, they spot something unusual, a 1968 penny with no mint mark. At first, it seems like nothing. But then they search what collectors have been whispering about, and just like that, they realize they're holding a jackpot worth more than their house, their car, maybe even their entire retirement fund combined. That feeling, the rush, the trembling excitement, the pulse pounding as you try to process what's in your hand, is exactly what has driven millions to take coin collecting more seriously than ever before. And here's where urgency enters the room. The demand for rare mint-era coins has skyrocketed. More people in the United States are waking up to the reality that hidden wealth isn't locked behind bank vaults or stock market dashboards. It's often sitting in plain sight, waiting for someone with knowledge to notice it. Knowledge that, by the way, you're gaining right now. Let's pause for a moment, pattern interrupt incoming. Can we all agree that if pennies could talk, they'd probably be bragging nonstop? Oh, you think you're valuable because you're a golden dollar? Please, I'm worth almost $1 million. Now imagine your penny saying that. Silly, yes, but still a nice thought. Back to the journey. This 1968 no-mint mark penny isn't your everyday coin. It's not just rare, it's a ghost. A mistake that should never have existed. Most 1968 pennies were supposed to carry their mint marks, indicating their place of birth. The absence of that tiny letter makes it different, and difference is where massive value is born in the world of collectibles. Collectors aren't just buying metal. They're buying stories, history, anomalies, and the exclusivity of owning something almost no one else on Earth can claim. And when something is almost impossible to find, its value doesn't just rise, it explodes. Act 3 brings us into transformation, the point where you, the viewer, step into the story. The lesson here isn't only about a rare penny worth nearly $1 million. It's about possibility, hidden opportunity. The idea that prosperity is not always far away and unreachable. Sometimes it's right under your fingertips. That's the mindset of wealthy people. They see value where others see nothing. They explore possibilities while others ignore them. And right now, you have joined that group of people who recognize what others overlook. The demand for rare U.S. coins is at an all-time high. Collectors, investors, and wealth builders across the country are aggressively searching for coins like the 1968 no-mint mark penny. That demand is driving prices higher, faster, and more powerfully than ever before. The market is hungry, And items like these are feeding a frenzy. The time to act isn't tomorrow, it's now. Every day, more people enter the hunt. And every day, pieces locked away in basements, jars, and old metal boxes are being found and snapped up. The window to seize this opportunity is wide open, but it won't stay open forever. And here's the final emotional trigger, the fear of missing out. Imagine a year from now, you see headlines about another rare penny selling for another unbelievable price. And you think back to this moment, remembering you had a chance to search your old coins, to take action, to join the wave of Americans turning their collections into wealth. But you didn't. That's a feeling you don't want to experience. And thankfully, you don't have to. Because today, right now, you have the knowledge. You have the motivation. And deep down, you have the desire to build the kind of wealth that creates security, freedom, and the lifestyle you deserve. Your journey doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins with the next step you take after this video. So empty those drawers. Dust off those boxes. Revisit the coins you inherited, the ones you forgot about, the ones you carry every day without thinking. Because somewhere out there, in the pockets and homes of ordinary people, rare coins worth hundreds of thousands, even millions, are waiting to be found. And one of them may be waiting for you. In a world where most people walk past pennies without a second thought, a quiet revolution is happening in the pockets, drawers, and forgotten coin jars of American households. Today's video begins with a truth that might shake you a little. You may be holding a coin worth more than most luxury homes. Yes, a simple 1989 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. One tiny piece of copper-plated zinc that has shocked collectors, stunned auction houses, and recently commanded a jaw-dropping market value of $954,000. And before you think, there's no way I have one, stay with me, because the most incredible finds always start with the people who never expected them. Act 1 begins with something every coin collector dreams of but rarely says out loud. The possibility of a life-changing discovery hiding in plain sight. Imagine reaching into your car's cup holder and pulling out a penny you didn't even remember dropping there. Imagine noticing something different. No mint mark where one should be. A strange, almost mysterious absence. And with that tiny detail, your life shifts. Suddenly your heart beats faster, your hands tremble, and you begin wondering, is this the moment everything changes for me? This is the emotional spark that drives collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday Americans to chase the wealth they know is waiting for those courageous enough to look. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people believe rare coins only belong to museums or multimillion-dollar vaults. Yet history doesn't work that way. Wealth doesn't discriminate. It rewards attention. It rewards knowledge. It rewards those who dare to believe. The 1989 no mint mark penny wasn't discovered in a private vault. It wasn't found by a professional. It surfaced in the hands of someone just like you, someone who simply decided to inspect what others ignore. And suddenly, their ordinary coin jar became a goldmine. If you're feeling your curiosity rising, good, you should. Because the opportunity is real, the demand is skyrocketing, and collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million for the right piece. Act 2 shifts gears with the energy of discovery. Picture the massive world of coin production, where machines hum at lightning speed, stamping billions of coins each year. Now imagine something goes wrong for just a fraction of a second. A mint mark that should have been added isn't. A tiny slip, invisible to the world, yet powerful enough to change the destiny of anyone who finds it. That absence becomes its own presence, a signal of rarity so profound that experts can barely contain their excitement when one appears. Serious collectors are always watching, always competing, always ready to outbid each other for coins that defy probability. And today's coin is exactly that kind of masterpiece. This is where the excitement kicks into overdrive. A 1989 penny, something so normal it's practically background noise, suddenly becomes the star of the show. Auctions fill with whispers and tension. Bidders lift their paddles with the kind of trembling confidence usually reserved for major business acquisitions. And when the hammer falls at $954,000, the room goes silent. Someone just became the new owner of one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures in recent years. Now here's the question I want to drop on you, and consider this your pattern interrupt. Why are you watching videos about rare coins when the rare coin might be sitting inside your kitchen drawer right now? I'm serious. Don't laugh. Well, actually, you can laugh a little, but check that drawer after the video. Act 2 continues with a deeper emotional pull. People aren't just searching for coins, they're searching for freedom. They're searching for that one opportunity that pulls them out of the ordinary and thrusts them into the extraordinary. The 1989 no-mint mark penny is more than metal. It's a symbol of possibility. Every time someone uncovers a 6-figure or 7-figure error coin, it sends a message across America. Wealth isn't always earned through decades of sacrifice. Sometimes it's found, discovered, claimed. And the people who act with urgency, those who refuse to procrastinate, are the ones who catch the opportunity before the world catches on. That urgency is real now more than ever. Demand is rising sharply. Collectors are aggressively buying. Auctions are heating up. And every time another coin surfaces, the value climbs because rarity becomes even more defined. That means the best time to look for your treasure isn't tomorrow. It's today. And the best moment to become part of this growing wave of wealth seekers is the one happening right now. Act 3 opens with a powerful truth. Fortunes are not built on chance alone, but on awareness. The wealthy don't just work harder, they see things others overlook. You're not watching this video by accident. Something inside you is searching for more. Something inside you believes you deserve a life beyond limits. A life filled with security, abundance, and the freedom to enjoy the lifestyle you've always envisioned. This coin, this 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, is simply a doorway. A symbol of what can happen when you train your eyes to see value where others see nothing. Now imagine, for a moment, the moment you discover yours. Picture holding it in your hand, realizing that your financial future just changed. Picture sharing the story with your family. Picture the relief of knowing you can finally invest, upgrade, travel, or retire earlier than you expected. This is the emotional core of treasure hunting, the transformation. And the truth is, transformations don't wait. They reward people who take action. As this video comes to its final arc, I want you to walk away with one message that ties everything together. Every extraordinary breakthrough begins with a simple decision. The decision to look. The decision to learn. The decision to believe that hidden wealth is not just for someone else, it could be meant for you. Coins like the 1989 no-mint mark penny remind us that opportunity is everywhere, but only the bold reach out and seize it. So take a moment after this video ends. Check your coins. Re-examine the things you once ignored. Your next chapter, your wealthy chapter, might start with a penny so powerful it could rewrite your financial story forever. And if that doesn't get your heart racing, well, you may want to check your pulse. Imagine pulling open an old drawer, expecting nothing more than a handful of forgotten pennies, and realizing one of them could be worth more than a luxury home. Today, we're diving into the astonishing world of a 2002 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, an ordinary-looking cent hiding an extraordinary secret. A rare mint error so valuable, collectors are chasing it with fierce determination, pushing its current market value to an unbelievable $976,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a 1-cent coin. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where you wondered if the universe might be hiding a gift for you, right under your fingertips? Well, this coin proves it happens more often than you think. And if you've been telling yourself, I never get lucky, stay with me, because after today you might never look at pocket change the same way again. And don't worry, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. The US Mint occasionally does the same thing. In 2002, an incredibly rare and spectacular error slipped through the cracks. And while some people were complaining about rising gas prices that year, someone else unknowingly pocketed a coin worth nearly $1 million. Funny how life works, right? One person fills up their tank. Another fills up their entire bank account. So let's peel back the layers and reveal why this penny, this unassuming, innocent little piece of copper zinc alloy, has become one of the most aggressively hunted treasures among serious American collectors. The magic of the 2002 no-mint mark Lincoln penny lies in its mystery. You see, certain coins from the Philadelphia Mint traditionally don't carry a mint mark, but this particular variety is different. This wasn't just missing a mark, it was missing consistency, missing standard production characteristics, missing everything that should have made it ordinary. And that's exactly what makes it extraordinary. The error wasn't just a factory slip. It was a once-in-a-generation anomaly, something that slipped past inspections, past mass packaging, past the eyes of thousands, until it finally landed in the hands of one sharp-eyed collector who immediately realized he wasn't holding a penny. He was holding a life-changing event, a moment that could rewrite financial destiny. Imagine the adrenaline of that realization, the fear of losing it, the excitement of confirming it, the urgency to secure it before anyone else understood its power. And here's where the story takes a turn most people never expect. Coin collectors, serious investors, aren't buying this penny because they love copper. They're buying it because it represents rarity, status, value, and the thrill of owning something almost no other human on Earth can claim to possess. That is why this coin is so fiercely demanded. It's not a penny. It's a trophy, a badge of elite collecting, a symbol of wealth that grows in silence. Now pause for a second. Ask yourself, what if you've already touched one of these? What if you once dropped a 2002 penny into a tip jar without knowing it? What if it's still sitting somewhere in your home? Inside a jar, a forgotten purse, or an old box under your bed? Wouldn't it be ironic if the fortune you've been searching for has been hiding where you least expected it? But listen closely, this is where most people get it wrong. They think valuable coins look special. But the most powerful opportunities in life, just like rare coins, often look completely ordinary. That's why only those who pay attention get rewarded. Now that you understand the rarity and the explosive demand for this 2002 no mint mark error, here's where everything comes together. The market for high-grade error coins in the US has skyrocketed, and this particular penny has become one of the stars of modern numismatics. Collectors want it. Investors want it. Auction houses pay aggressively for it. And every year, demand climbs higher. That is why you cannot afford to ignore your own change jar, coin rolls, or the forgotten pockets of old jeans. You're not just searching for a penny, you're searching for possibility. You're searching for an opportunity that could shift your financial reality. And if you're someone dreaming of selling old and rare coins to create a wealthier lifestyle, this is your moment to act. A window of possibility is open, but like all valuable things, it won't stay open forever. You're watching this video for a reason. Something inside you believes you deserve more. More freedom, more security, more abundance. And you're right. The world doesn't reward people who wait. It rewards people who search, people who move, people who take the smallest opportunities and turn them into monumental victories. So let this penny be your reminder. Wealth doesn't always start with $1 million. Sometimes, it starts with 1 cent, 1 chance, 1 decision to look closer. And before we end, let me reset your attention with one final thought. If you find this coin in your home and become an overnight millionaire, promise me one thing. Do not forget where you got the tip that changed your life. And maybe send me a Christmas card, preferably with a picture of your new yacht. In all seriousness, your future wealth might already be in your possession. Go check your coins. Go check them now. Because the only thing standing between you and a $976,000 discovery is the moment you choose to start looking. Act I opens with a hook designed to freeze your viewer in place. Imagine this. Somewhere in America, sitting quietly in a small glass jar on top of a refrigerator, a simple brown coin, ignored for decades, holds a secret so powerful that it could change someone's entire financial future overnight. No lottery tickets, no crypto gamble, no risky investments. Just an ordinary-looking 1992 D Lincoln penny that recently stunned the coin world with a current market value soaring to an astonishing $967,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million from a coin most people accidentally vacuum off the carpet without a second thought. It's the kind of story that makes you question every coin you've ever tossed away. And if you just felt your heartbeat pick up, that's exactly what it should do. Because today, you might discover that you've been sitting on your own small fortune without even realizing it. Act I begins by grounding the viewer in reality. While most people struggle to save a few extra dollars, the truth is that America's minting history hides treasures in plain sight. Treasures the wise uncover and the wealthy understand. This 1992 D penny is one of those treasures. It's the rare transitional error coin where the design intended for 1993, specifically the close AM reverse, was accidentally used during 1992 production at the Denver Mint. A tiny design shift, barely noticeable, transformed a routine piece of pocket change into one of the most coveted coins in the numismatic world. And here's the twist. Most people don't even know it exists. That's why collectors are hunting aggressively, paying life-changing money, and creating a fierce competition to find the next million-dollar penny. Now, you might be wondering, what if you've already touched one? What if you handed one to a cashier last week? What if the coin that could redesign your entire future slipped right through your fingers? Yes, that's the kind of fear we all feel when we discover the value of something only after it's gone. But stay with me, because there's still time to check your change. As we move deeper into Act 2, the excitement begins. Picture this: millions of 1992 D pennies were minted, but only a tiny handful, just a whisper of them, carry this extremely rare close AM error. And because they look almost identical to ordinary pennies, the hunt becomes electric, almost thrilling. It turns everyday people into treasure seekers and casual hobbyists into millionaires. Auctions today are fiercely competitive, with high-level collectors, investors, and wealthy buyers driving the price upward into the elite range of $967,000. That number isn't hype, it's motivation. It's proof. Proof that ordinary Americans are turning pocket change into generational wealth at a time when everything feels expensive and out of reach. And the best part? You don't need a mansion, a safe full of gold bars, or an expert's degree. You just need awareness. Awareness and the willingness to check what everyone else ignores. Keep your mind alert. Here's a pattern interrupt. You ever notice how we lose pennies everywhere? In cars, under couches, inside washing machines, and somehow mysteriously inside the freezer? Don't ask how they get there. Pennies have their own secret lives. But today, every penny suddenly has potential. Every penny becomes a question. And every question becomes an opportunity. That is the psychological shift that separates those who chase wealth from those who attract it. When you understand that value hides in the smallest, most unexpected things, you gain access to a world most people overlook. Act 2 grows stronger as we connect the dots. The wealthy don't become wealthy by accident. They recognize patterns, patterns in markets, patterns in opportunities, patterns in history. And the 1992 D penny is part of that pattern. Rare transitional errors almost always become high-demand treasures. Collectors pay premiums. Investors fight over them. People with money want something no one else can have. Scarcity builds desire, and desire builds price. When you combine scarcity with the thrill of discovery, you get a coin that doesn't just sit in a collection. It becomes a symbol of status, exclusivity, and financial foresight. The kind of item that whispers, "The person who owns me saw what others did not." Now Act 3 approaches, bringing intensity and urgency. Every day that passes reduces the chances of finding one of these near-million-dollar pennies in circulation. People are searching harder than ever. Pawn shops, roll hunters, estate sale buyers, everyone wants the prize. And the competition grows by the hour. Think about it. The longer you wait, the more likely someone else finds the fortune you could have claimed. If there was ever a moment to act, to check your old jars, coin albums, drawers, glove compartments, or even that random coffee mug full of mixed change in your office, it's now. Because the market is hot, demand is high, and the value of this rare 1992 D close AM penny is rising with unstoppable momentum. The emotional journey now leads toward empowerment. I want you to feel the strength of possibility, the confidence of knowing that hidden wealth isn't limited to banks or billionaires. It can be right in your home. Sometimes destiny hides in copper. Sometimes opportunity waits in silence. And sometimes all it takes is the courage to look. And before we close, here's one more pattern interrupt to reset your attention. Imagine telling your coworkers you just made nearly $1 million from a 1-cent coin. Watch their faces. Half disbelief, half jealousy, half doing the math wrong. But you would know the truth. Opportunity rewards those who prepare, those who pay attention, and those who don't let fear stop them from searching. Act 3 concludes with clarity and purpose. This is not just about a coin. This is about unlocking a wealth mindset. The 1992 D. Lincoln penny isn't just rare. It's a reminder that extraordinary rewards come to those who stay curious, persistent, and alert. And right now, the world of rare coins is booming with energy, ambition, and high-value discoveries. Your million-dollar moment might be closer than you think. As the screen fades, the message becomes unforgettable. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't assume you don't have treasure within your reach. Check your pennies, every single one of them, because the next 1992 D-close AM error could literally reshape your financial future. Wealth doesn't always arrive in gold. Sometimes, it arrives in copper, quietly waiting for the right person to notice. And today, that person could be you. Imagine this for a moment. You're holding a simple 2015 Lincoln penny, the kind most people step over in a grocery store parking lot. The coin that sits unnoticed in millions of pockets, drawers, cup holders, and forgotten jars across America. But what if I told you that one of these ordinary cents, specifically a rare 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, didn't just change someone's day, it changed their entire financial destiny. Because one shocking error example surfaced in the collector's market recently with a jaw-dropping value of $986,000. Yes, a penny that's worth nearly $1 million. And no, that's not a typo. It's real. It's documented. And it has now become one of the most aggressively pursued modern error coins in the entire United States. Right now, somewhere out there, someone is walking past a fortune disguised as a copper-colored circle. Maybe it's in their home. Maybe it's in yours. And before this video ends, you'll know exactly why this coin exploded in value, what error makes it so rare, and how a simple penny could become the key that unlocks the lifestyle most people only dream about. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your spare change? Wait, don't tell me you dumped it into that old jar again. Don't worry, we all do it. But today, you may think twice. This is where the story begins. The year is 2015. Billions of Lincoln pennies were produced. Most were ordinary. Most lived quiet, boring lives. But one of them didn't follow the rules. One of them escaped the mint with an extraordinary, high-value error. An error so clean, so undeniable, and so perfectly preserved that it ignited a wave of excitement across the coin community. And because this particular example carries no mint mark, it immediately signaled something unusual. Typically, a 2015 penny without a mint mark originates from the Philadelphia Mint. But this wasn't just a standard strike. Something happened during its creation, something collectors call a perfect storm error. This wasn't the kind of error you casually glance at. Oh no, this was the kind of error that steals your breath, raises your heartbeat, and makes experienced collectors fight like gladiators at auctions. The kind of error that skyrockets a coin from pocket change to elite treasure. And here's the emotional punch. Most people handling pennies every single day have absolutely no idea what they're touching. They don't understand that the value of an error coin like this comes from a combination of rarity, demand, and the sheer impossibility of the accident ever occurring again. Think about that for a moment. A one-time event at the US Mint turned a simple penny into a nearly $1 million asset. Now let's pause for a pattern interrupt because you deserve a mental breather. Quick question. Are you still picking up pennies off the ground? Or do you just assume they're bad luck? Because if that's the case, bad news, your luck might be lying face up on the sidewalk and laughing at you. Alright, let's refocus. As the coin community began whispering about the discovery of the rare 2015 no-mint mark error penny, something remarkable happened. Demand surged. Collectors with deep pockets came forward. Auctions started intensifying. And then, the unthinkable, this coin reached a recorded market valuation of $986,000, making it one of the most aggressively chased modern pennies of the decade. Prices like this don't happen by accident. They happen because wealth builders, investors, and collectors recognize an opportunity when others are sleeping on it. They know that rare errors, especially recent ones, become the gold rush moments for regular people who dare to look twice at something everyone else ignores. And that brings us right to your hands, your home, your pocket, because the next life-changing coin might be sitting closer than you think. So here we are, the final stretch. And right now, you have a choice. You can finish this video and go back to your day as if nothing happened. Or you can take this moment as the starting point of a new chapter. A chapter where you no longer underestimate small opportunities. A chapter where one coin, just one, could unlock a wealthier, freer, more powerful version of your life. If a single 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth $986,000, imagine what else is still out there. Imagine how many rare mint errors are sitting unrecognized in coffee cans, old purses, desk drawers, or forgotten rolls of pennies that haven't been opened in years. Imagine discovering one that not only transforms your financial situation, but becomes the story you tell for the rest of your life. The story of the moment everything changed. Here's the truth most people overlook. Wealth isn't only created through stock markets, real estate, or complicated investments. Sometimes wealth hides in plain sight, in something as simple as a penny. And the people who live wealthy lifestyles aren't just lucky. They're alert. They're aware. They search where others don't. They pay attention. And because of that, they get rewarded. So let me ask you again. When was the last time you checked your spare change? Because after today, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. And maybe, just maybe, the next $986,000 discovery is already waiting for you. But only if you look. Only if you take action. Only if you choose to see opportunity where others see nothing. This is your moment. Your invitation to join a world where rare coins aren't just collectibles. They're assets. They're gateways. They're the stepping stones to the lifestyle you deserve. And as long as coins keep circulating, as long as people keep overlooking treasure, you'll always have the advantage because now you know what they don't. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that possibility. And start searching today. Your $1 million penny might be the next one you touch. The screen opens in darkness as a soft metallic ping echoes, drawing the viewer in. A beam of light slowly reveals a single copper coin spinning in the air. As it turns, its date flashes 1987. This mint mark D. And then a whisper, this ordinary penny might be worth $965,000. Yes, nearly $1 million. You pause, letting the surprise settle. Then the voice continues with a quiet confidence. What if I told you that you might already have one? And what if I told you that thousands of Americans throw away fortunes every year? Simply because they never look closely. The hook tightens. A pattern interrupt breaks the tension. And no, this isn't one of those stories where your neighbor's cousin's barber found treasure in a cereal box. This one is real, documented, and one of the most exciting error coin discoveries in modern American history. The coin spins again, brighter now. So stay with me, the narrator urges, because in the next few minutes you're going to understand exactly why the 1987 D Lincoln penny error is creating a tidal wave of demand among collectors, dealers, and investors who are ready to pay life-changing money for a coin most people overlook. And with that, Act 1 begins. The tone shifts into a warm, inspiring voice. Every wealthy journey begins with a moment of curiosity, and sometimes with a single coin. For decades, everyday Americans have been unknowingly holding onto treasures minted during routine shifts at the Denver Mint. The 1987 D penny, struck during a period of heavy production, saw a handful of extraordinary errors slip through the cracks, errors so rare, so dramatic, that they've rewritten the value of this humble 1-cent coin. Images of the Lincoln Memorial fade in. Think about it. A penny, something most people won't bother picking up from the sidewalk, now soaring to a jaw-dropping market value of $965,000. Not because of luck, but because of rarity. Because of a minting anomaly so scarce that collectors will stop at nothing to acquire it. A faint, suspenseful hum rises. And this isn't just about coins. It's about the opportunity you may have right now, sitting in your drawer, your jar, your forgotten coffee tin. The opportunity to step into a wealthier life. One where your hidden assets finally work for you. The narrator chuckles softly. A playful pattern interrupt. Unless, of course, you prefer letting nearly $1 million gather dust behind your salt shaker. No judgment, but also why. The viewer's attention jolts back. The emotional trigger resets anticipation. Because the truth is, fortune often hides where the untrained eye never looks. The music sharpens, elevating urgency. Now let's go deeper. What makes the 1987 D penny worth more than luxury cars, lake houses, and college tuition combined? It comes down to a spectacular mint error, an error so dramatic it transformed this penny into a crown jewel of modern numismatics. Soft visuals of microscopic details glide across the screen. Collectors hunt for anomalies like off-center strikes, double dies, misalignments, and planchet defects. And the 1987 D penny delivered one of the most coveted combinations, an unmistakable error that instantly elevates it into the six-figure category. The voice deepens. When one of these rare pieces surfaced, its sale shocked the market, igniting a frenzy of buyers ready to pay premium prices. That momentum hasn't stopped. If anything, it's growing. A moment of suspense, then an emotional trigger. Because here's the fear nobody wants to face. What if you had one of these pennies, and you gave it away? Lost it? Spent it unknowingly at a gas station? A heartbeat. People have done it. That's why education matters, and why watching this video may be the most profitable 5 minutes of your week. Another pattern interrupt slips in with light humor. Besides, wouldn't it be a little embarrassing to tell your grandkids, "Yeah, I had $1 million penny, but I used it to buy a pack of gum"? The tone turns authoritative again. This coin's demand is skyrocketing. The market is hungry. Collectors, investors, even wealth builders outside traditional coin circles want a piece of this history. And when demand surges, values climb. The final act opens with emotional weight. Right now, we are living in one of the strongest periods for rare coin sales in modern history. High net worth collectors are aggressively expanding their portfolios. Auction houses are surpassing record highs. And the 1987 D-era penny is positioned at the center of this movement. Warm, cinematic music rises. Imagine what a $965,000 discovery could mean for your life. Debt wiped away, investments funded, your family's future secured. That's not fantasy. That is the real financial power of understanding what you own. The narrator leans in with urgency. And the truth is, these coins don't sit on the market for long. When one appears, collectors move fast. The clock is always ticking, and the people who take action win. The voice becomes inspiring, powerful. Take this as your moment, your starting point, your permission to step into the wealthy lifestyle you've always imagined. Because opportunities like this don't come often, and when they do, they reward those who pay attention. A final pattern interrupt arrives with a confident smile in the voice. And let's be honest, checking your penny jar is a lot easier than becoming a cryptocurrency guru overnight. The screen brightens with hope. So go look. Check your rolls, your jars, your boxes. The 1987 D-penny error worth $965,000 is real, and someone out there is holding the next one. It might as well be you. A last pause, a final emotional rise. Because wealth doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes, it waits quietly in the smallest place imaginable, even on the face of a copper penny. From the moment this story begins, I want you to pay close attention, because what you're about to hear has changed lives. Literally. Every now and then, a coin appears that flips the script on what wealth means. And the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny error, valued today at $986,000, is exactly that kind of life-altering treasure. And yes, it may be hiding in someone's home, a drawer, a jar, or even beneath a couch cushion at this very moment. Maybe in your home. Don't laugh, it's happened before. People lose remote controls, socks, and $1 million pennies all in the same house. No judgment here. This is not just another coin story. This is an invitation, a doorway, a moment that says, if you want a wealthy lifestyle, if you want the freedom that only rare finds can bring, you're in the right place. Stay with me until the very end, because everything connects. The penny, the error, the price, the opportunity, and you. Imagine waking up tomorrow with nearly $1 million, all because you recognize something others overlooked. One simple penny, one overlooked detail, one moment of awareness. That's the kind of transformation the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny error has delivered. Most people walk away from wealth because they assume they don't have anything valuable. They assume their pocket change is just change. But you're not most people. Not anymore. In 1967, The US Mint skipped mint marks entirely to focus on production during a national coin shortage, and in that chaotic environment, rare and extraordinary mint errors slipped out into circulation. Some were subtle, some were dramatic, and some, like the legendary error penny we're talking about, turned into six-figure jackpots. If you found a $986,000 penny today, what's the first thing you'd buy? Don't think too hard. If your answer started with debt freedom, congratulations, you're officially an adult. If it started with Lamborghini, congratulations, you're still fun. But this isn't about cars or bills. This is about possibility. And this is where the story truly begins. Picture a collector, ordinary, hardworking, not wealthy, not privileged. Just someone like you. They open a jar of old pennies, casual and curious. First, nothing special. Just the usual. Tarnished coppers, scratches, memories. But then, one coin catches their eye. It looks normal, but something feels different. Every great discovery begins this way, with intuition. They look closer. The 1967 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. A wrong planchet strike. A misaligned D. Signs of rarity hiding in plain sight. Their pulse speeds up. Their hands shake. Because sometimes the universe whispers, then hands you almost $1 million. The coin is authenticated, graded, and suddenly life changes. Wealth arrives not slowly, but instantly. A coin worth $986,000 in today's market, a price driven by extreme demand, rarity, and the electrifying competition among elite collectors. Collectors across the country are hunting these 1967-era pennies because they know the supply is microscopic while demand has exploded. Wealthy buyers want these coins. Investors want them. Coin funds want them. The price keeps climbing because everyone is chasing too few pieces. But the real adrenaline comes from this simple truth. Most of these era pennies are still out there. Unfound. Undiscovered. Untouched. Maybe that chills your spine. It should. Every jar, every forgotten box, every dusty drawer in America is a potential vault of opportunity. And now we connect that opportunity with your future. This is the moment everything comes together. The coin, the error, the price, the dream of wealth, and the path forward for you. Because here's the mindset shift the wealthy understand deeply. Money doesn't always come from hard labor. Sometimes it comes from awareness. Sometimes from knowing what others ignore. So as you listen right now, you're standing at the threshold of a new direction. A direction where rare coins aren't just metal, they're stepping stones. Tools. Vehicles of prosperity. If you've ever wanted to break out of scarcity, to step into abundance, to live a life where opportunities flow instead of fade, your journey begins with action. Act I opens with a single truth. Sometimes, the most extraordinary opportunities hide in the most ordinary places. And today, that ordinary place might be the humble penny jar sitting in your kitchen, your glove box, or that old dresser drawer you haven't touched in years. Because inside that pocket change could be a 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. A coin so rare, so shockingly valuable, that its current market value is standing proudly at $963,000. Yes, you heard that right, $963,000. And if that number didn't make your heart jump just a little, check your pulse. This is not a fantasy. It's not a rumor. It's a real life changer. And the most exciting part? Almost no one knows what this coin looks like or why it's worth nearly $1 million. Yet by the end of this video, you won't just understand it. You'll know exactly what signs to hunt for, and you'll be more motivated than ever to check every single penny that crosses your hands. So lean in closely, because treasures like this don't just change bank accounts. They change destinies. But let me interrupt that serious tone for a second with one quick question. If you found a penny worth $963K, would you still call it penny? Or would you rename it Sir Moneymaker the First? Just asking. All right, back to business. Act 2 begins with the story of how this rare coin became the crown jewel of error collectors. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln cent isn't just valuable. It's the kind of coin that rewrites what collectors thought they knew. Typically, these pennies should carry the D mint mark when produced in Denver or no mark when made in Philadelphia. But the error that makes this version worth a fortune isn't simply the absence of a mint mark. It's a deeper, more dramatic minting anomaly, born during a time when dies were transitioning and mistakes slipped through the cracks under unimaginable pressure at the United States Mint. Imagine millions of coins flowing like a river of copper, each one stamped in milliseconds. And somewhere in that endless stream, an astonishingly rare few were created with a die that should never have been used, a die meant for an entirely different year. That subtle, almost invisible difference created the legend we now know as the 1988 transitional error cent. It's the kind of numismatic miracle that collectors dream about. Something so scarce that even veteran experts pause, blink, and whisper, "Is this real?" Now here's where the urgency kicks in. Because every day, thousands of old coins are quietly cashed in, melted down, or thrown into Coinstar machines by people who have no idea what they're holding. Imagine someone unknowingly giving away a house, a luxury car, a year of financial freedom, all because they didn't know what was sitting right in their palm. And while they lose out, someone else, someone informed, someone watching this video, steps in and reaps the reward. The fear of missing out is real, and it should be, because coins like this don't wait. They don't introduce themselves. You either catch them, or someone else does. But let's interrupt the serious mood again for a quick pattern reset. If your brain is starting to feel heavy, here's a fun thought. At this point, the only person checking pennies faster than you is probably the IRS agent wondering why you suddenly Googled how to declare millionaire coin profits. Back to the journey. Act 3 is where everything connects and transforms. By now, you know the value, the rarity, and the urgency. But here's the part that truly drives home the power of opportunity hiding in everyday life. Ordinary Americans, people with no numismatic background, no expert training, no special equipment, have found coins worth millions by simply paying attention. The 1988 no-mint mark penny is one of the sharpest reminders that wealth isn't always earned by grinding harder. Sometimes, it's discovered by looking closer. And that's the message your future self will thank you for. The wealthy lifestyle isn't reserved for the elite. It's built by the aware, the observant, the people who refuse to underestimate anything, not even a penny. Your next moment of abundance might already be in your possession. Your next step toward financial transformation could literally be sitting in a dusty jar right now, waiting for you to remember this video and take action. So as we approach the final moments, let me leave you with one powerful truth. The universe doesn't whisper opportunity. It hides it in plain sight and waits to see who's paying attention. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is more than a coin. It's a test of awareness, persistence, and readiness. And you now have the knowledge and the eye to spot it. Check your change. Check every penny. Check them like your millionaire future depends on it, because today it just might. And when you find that rare treasure, remember that it wasn't luck. It was preparation meeting opportunity. And the courage to believe that small things can bring massive rewards. Act 1 begins with a jolt. Imagine opening your old coin jar, the kind that's been sitting quietly on top of a dresser or tucked away in a kitchen cabinet, and discovering that one simple penny, yes, a 2016 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark, could instantly elevate your financial life. Imagine learning that collectors today are paying as high as $943,000 for the right error variety. Now pause and let that sink in. A penny worth nearly $1 million. Before today, you might have tossed it aside without a second thought. Suddenly, that tiny coin becomes the symbol of a turning point. An opportunity you never knew existed but can't afford to ignore. As we dive deeper, I want you to stay with me because what you're about to learn has changed people's lives. You're here because you're ready to step into a higher level of wealth, to transform something ordinary into something extraordinary. And yes, collectors are aggressively hunting these rare modern errors because the market has never been more alive. But before we get to the details, let me ask you something unusual. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, "You're too small to matter"? Consider this your pattern interrupt. Because today, that tiny copper-plated circle might be the most important discovery you make all year. Act 1 closes with a sense of rising urgency. Every day that passes, more and more people are examining their coins, sending them for grading, and uncovering rare variations that instantly skyrocket in value. The question isn't whether the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is valuable. The real question is whether you'll find yours before someone else digs through the same pile of pocket change and claims the treasure meant for you. Act 2 opens with clarity and authority. The 2016 no-mint mark penny is normally minted in Philadelphia. Millions exist, yes, but only a tiny, microscopic fraction contains specific rare errors that create this explosive value. These errors, striking abnormalities, dramatic misalignments, doubled dies, and minting malfunctions, are what transform an everyday coin into a six-figure powerhouse. They represent a moment when the minting machinery simply slipped for a fraction of a second, creating a masterpiece that shouldn't exist. Collectors consider these mistakes unintentional works of art, and they're willing to pay accordingly. That's why the highest grade, highest error variations of the 2016 no-mint mark penny have crossed the jaw-dropping $943,000 mark in today's market. Let's pause for a humorous attention reset. Isn't it funny how we panic when we lose a dollar bill, yet we let pennies roll under the couch like they're unwanted dust? Meanwhile, that lost penny could have paid off your house, your car, your retirement account, and bought you a beach property. Suddenly, we all want our pennies back, don't we? Now the story deepens. The massive surge in demand for rare modern coins has created one of the fastest-growing collectible markets in the United States. Wealth builders, investors, collectors, and high-net-worth individuals are battling for top-grade coins, driving prices upward with unstoppable momentum. Your penny isn't just a collectible. It's a ticket to the world of high-return tangibles, a world where smart individuals make life-changing gains from the simplest discoveries. You're watching this because you're ready to enter that world. The emotional tension rises as we explore the fear of missing out. Every day, more coins enter private collections, permanently leaving circulation. When that happens, the remaining specimens become even more precious. If you don't check your coins now, the opportunity may slip into someone else's hands forever. And let me be blunt in the most empowering way: million-dollar coins don't wait. They don't linger. They vanish into vaults, safes, and portfolios of those bold enough to recognize their value. Act 3 begins with transformation. This is where your story shifts from curiosity to action. Imagine holding your 2016 penny in your hand and realizing you possess a piece of American minting history, something rare enough to command nearly $1 million. Imagine the surge of excitement when you compare it to verified high-value error types and begin to see signs of rarity. Imagine the moment you send it for grading with the confidence that your life could change with one email notification. This is where inspiration meets power. People just like you, ordinary individuals with extraordinary ambition, have discovered fortune in the smallest corners of their homes. The path to wealth doesn't always come from giant leaps. Sometimes it comes from paying attention to the details others overlook. Sometimes it comes from recognizing that opportunity hides in plain sight. And sometimes, as we see today, it comes from a simple, unassuming penny minted in 2016, bearing no mint mark, yet carrying the potential to unlock a new level of financial freedom. The urgency builds as we near the end. You cannot afford to delay. The market is hot. Collectors are buying aggressively. And every day, someone discovers a coin that becomes their turning point. Let this be yours. Take out your pennies. Examine them. Study the details. Look for the unexpected. You're not just searching for a rare coin. You're searching for possibility, for transformation, for the chance to step into the wealthy lifestyle you desire and deserve. The film closes with one powerful truth. Great opportunities rarely announce themselves. They whisper. They sit quietly. They wait for the person who is alert enough, hungry enough, and determined enough to notice them. Today, the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is whispering to you. Don't walk away from the message. Embrace it. Act on it. And let this be the moment your journey toward higher wealth accelerates into reality.